Hello everyone, welcome on in. It's the second edition of Betting Weekly Game Bet Match. It's the number one tennis betting podcast and YouTube show brought to you in association with Bet Rivers, your hometown sportsbook. I'm Nigel Seeley and Sean Calvert, our senior ATP Tour handicapper, is over in Delray Beach. But before I introduce you to him, I'm asking you to do one thing for me. Please hit the subscribe button, please. Or two things. Hit the bell as well, be notified of every time any of the content gets downloaded on here. You'll be notified it. But what I want you to do is please hit that subscribe button. If you're enjoying the content, make sure you do that, and you'll get much, much more coming over the next few months and hopefully the next couple of years. Sean, good morning to you where you are. You're over in well, you're not in Dallas. You're in Florida.
I'm not in Dallas.
Good morning to you. I know it's an absolute horrible day over in the UK. It sounds, again, through the window there, it looks glorious sunshine.
Yeah, it's actually not that sunny today, to be honest. I'm quite happy about that because it's been insanely hot and humid here. It's not hot. Well, it's hot. It's not really hot. It's not like 30 or 35 degrees, but the humidity makes it not exactly unbearable, but very, very hot. And you can probably tell from the video, my eyes have gone all puffy, which is like a heat allergy thing, I think. So I've had to take a few bits and pieces to try and sort of depuff my eyes. But yeah, apart from that, it's all right. You know, the tennis is good. The tournament's pretty good. I've got a few complaints, obviously, but yeah, we'll come to them in a minute.
All right. Well, when you first come onto the screen, when I first saw you, I thought you were actually in LA with one of those doctors getting some plastic surgery done with your eyes. I mean, it's incredible how it sort of transforms your face. Is that really the heat, and that's how hard it is?
Yeah, it's the humidity. It's really, really hot, really humid, and sometimes when it gets that hot, I get a bit of like a heat allergy. I've never got this at places like Indian Wells where it's been hot, or even Marrakesh. I didn't get it, but here, it's just a bit of a heat allergy. My eyes have gone a bit puffy. It's all right. It does look a bit weird, but it doesn't cause me any major problems. I'm quite happy that it's cloudy today. You can't tell because I've had to shut the curtains, but it's pretty cloudy out there today, so there shouldn't be any sort of glaring sun. So I think I'll be all right.
No, just let you know there that Sean is obviously over in Delray Beach in Florida, and obviously these conditions here must be playing an effect with certain players. I mean, if it's that hot and humid, I mean, is there certain players that are relishing the conditions, other players that, you know, probably won't relish in the conditions? It must be a bit of a shock for some of the players who've been playing on the European tour.
Well, I think Cam Norrie played yesterday, and he said that he skipped the clay swing in South America to play here because he thought it would be less hot and humid. But he said it's actually either the same or worse. Yeah, he played a couple of sets yesterday. I saw him warming up yesterday as well. They're all warming up with their shirts off and stuff, and it's, you know, they're sweating buckets after, you know, a couple of games. So it is hotter and more humid, you know, than I thought. I've not been to this part of the world for many years, but yeah, it's tough conditions. Yeah, if you're not used to it, it's like I'm obviously not. You know, it's a bit of a culture shock. Yeah.
Now, the most important thing that we're all waiting to see, what's the complaints? You know, you're over there, the sun is shining. I know you love your, you know, you love your heat, you love your tennis. You're out there. What is there to moan about? But surely you found something or a couple of things to moan about.
I'm not wild. The ticket policy is a bit dodgy. You know, it's not cheap for tickets. I think I paid $90 odd for a ticket yesterday, and I only got 2 matches. They split it between. They don't tell you when you buy the tickets, but when you come to the tournament, you only get the 2 matches in the day on centre court. So yesterday, it was Khachanov and Cam Norrie, and then that's it. Then it's see you later.
$90 for that.
Yeah. And it'll be the same today. I've not got the schedule to hand because I'm recording on my phone, but I think it's Rinderknecht, Diallo. It's those 2 matches are all you'll get. You can go to the outside court, which is court 1, which is where I'm going after I've done this video because Nishioka's playing on there. But that's first come, first served seating. There's not that many seats. So if you just want to go to the centre court, you only get 2 matches. Like I said yesterday, it was Khachanov and Cam Norrie for like $90 odd. So yeah, I'm not wild about the ticketing policy, but they've got a ton of merch on the plus side. There's tons of merch. Most merch I've ever seen.
I bet it's expensive, though. Expensive.
It's not expensive. I got a T-shirt yesterday, $36. It's not bad at all. There's tons of it, so great for merch. It's very small. There's very little space there. It's one of the smallest 250s I've been to. It's dominated by that centre court, and then outside that, there's not a great deal there, to be honest.
Well, you can't be coming on this show travelling in business class and, saying you need to spend some money and then saying you're not paying $96 to watch the centre court.
It's a matter of
swings
principle.
and roundabouts, Sean. It swings and roundabouts, my friend.
It's a matter of principle. Do you think $90 to watch 2 sets of Khachanov and a couple of sets of Cam Norrie? I wouldn't call that good value. I would have thought they would let you.
Yeah, but you're going to the 250
event.
You're not going to see Djokovic. You're not going to see Alcaraz. You're going to a 250 event, so the calibre of tennis isn't going to be that great, unfortunately, especially in round one.
Price it as such. Then make it like $50 or something like that. It's just seems a little bit excessive to me. But there you go.
This is America. This is America.
You think of some of the ones in Europe? How much did you pay Montpellier? €8 for how many matches?
It was €8 to go there, but I all those seats were gone, and I realised €8. And when I did, because I didn't speak French, or I don't understand French, the €8 is actually to get you into the grounds of the tennis courts. The ticket that I paid was actually €60. It was €120 for me.
How many matches did you get?
€120. All day.
For how many matches?
All afternoon. Four.
There you go. There you go. All day. Here you get 2. And
Yes, but we were freezing, absolutely freezing, in an indoor arena at a power cut. We had floods. We were at the only tournament ever in history that was an indoor tournament that got stopped because of rain delay. Come on,
I did see that. That sounds more like the kind of place that I would go to.
You accept it. You're out there. You paid a few quid. You can have a little wander around. You can find some information, and you'll be able to, if you want to follow Sean's. It's a good little follow Sean over in Delray Beach. You can do on our Instagram account @BecauseWeWin. Follow his adventures there. No, he doesn't really moan on there. You do all your moaning here. You out there. You sort of like.
I haven't got time. I've only got 60
trying
seconds
to be like
on
an
Instagram. I haven't got time to be moaning on Instagram. I haven't got the time.
You leave all your moaning on here, and you do all your you search for your Magnuses over on day one, and you seem to be happy. Okay, let's move on to the action that we're going to discuss for tomorrow in Delray Beach, and it's an all-American affair. The one game that has caught your attention is Michael Mmoh up against Alex Michelsen. Michelsen is a player that we were both talking about who could potentially go on to win this tournament, but his form coming in here, he's got played a lot of tennis and maybe have a little bit of an injury worry as well. He's a heavy favourite against Mmoh. He's minus 375. Mmoh is plus 280. Spread is 4.5, and total here is 21.5. The two players have never ever met before. Michelsen got beaten round one by Norrie in Dallas, and Mmoh has come through 3 matches here in qualification. He got to round 16 in Dallas as well. He got beat by Casper Ruud, but he come through 3 qualification matches here against some decent opponents. Albot in the first round of qualification, and then he won 2 qualification matches. In the first round match, he beat Shevchenko's rather inconsistent. But Mmoh's got a bit of form. Michelsen is minus 375, and the money is still coming for Michelsen in this matchup. I know you're going to go with Mmoh in some capacity because I just can't see how he can possibly fancy Michelsen at minus 375.
Yeah, you're right. I think it's a very poor price this on Michelsen. You talked about players who are used to the conditions, and Michael Mmoh is certainly one of those. He's from Sarasota, so not a million miles away, obviously in Florida. He knows these conditions extremely well. Very hot and humid, as I said. He's played several matches here now. He enjoys these conditions, so that's not going to be a problem for him at all. We'll have to see about Michelsen. I think this would be a very good test for Michelsen in his first match. Mmoh's been playing very well after like a year or so out with an elbow injury. He's had a bit of a nightmare time with injuries, but he's back playing some very good tennis. I watched him yesterday against Shevchenko. I was hoping to watch that match live, but due to the aforementioned ticket policy, I had to watch it here in my hotel room, which wasn't ideal. It's not that easy to get used to these conditions. The centre court is very open. It's open to the elements. So if it's windy, you get a lot of gusts of wind coming through. The ball bounces up very high in these conditions. So it's not an easy thing to get used to. And Michelsen, I think, will take a bit of time to adjust because he's coming from obviously indoor hard in Dallas, where he lost to Cam Norrie. As you said, if we just look at the level that Mmoh's been producing recently, since let's take Dallas qualies and here so far. So that's 7 matches, 6-1 win-loss. He's on a service points won and return points won total of 104. Now I know the opposition hasn't been that great, but if you also think back to the form that Mmoh was producing before this elbow injury, his recent level, if you take out the last year or so, is where he's obviously had that injury problem. His level's pretty good, certainly good enough to test Michelsen in Michelsen's opening match. I quite like the over games here for Michael Mmoh. I think this is a match that if Michelsen's going to win it, it's going to take him a bit of time to get there. Over 10.5 player games here for Mmoh would be my lean. That's 1.97. That's about minus 103 chance with Bet Rivers. Or, given the fact that Mmoh has had a few medical timeouts in the last sort of few days, it might well be the case that Michelsen's fresher body will prevail in the end. So 2-1 in the set betting to Michelsen is also an interesting proposition with Bet Rivers at plus 260. But those are the 2 bets that I'd be interested in. Some way of siding with Michael Mmoh or a longer match if Michelsen's going to win it on the longer side, the over games or the set betting.
The match starts at 11 o'clock Eastern time tomorrow. Currently on the Bet Rivers website, there is 28 different markets on the Mmoh Michelsen match. We want to get with Mmoh in a couple of different markets. Sean has just highlighted there a few things that you might want to be looking at, and head across there. And remember, if you do watch bet on the match, you'll be able to watch the match live as well. Watch the bet unfold on the Bet Rivers app and on the website. Any of them official plays, Sean, or just a couple of leans in there, and nothing officially over in Delray Beach tomorrow?
Yeah, that one's just a lean for me, but I think you definitely need to be on the side of Mmoh in some way. I'm just slightly worried about his fitness, but I think it'd be a decent test for Michelsen. Just a lean there.
Yeah, just a lean. And if Sean does change his opinion or he finds anything out tomorrow, he's still be in Delray Beach, and you can find him on our Instagram page at Because We Win. One match we are going to discuss over in France now. We're moving across from Florida. We're flying across to Marseille in the south of France. And we have the match tomorrow between Khachanov against Medjedovic, a player that has got a huge amount of potential, a player who's playing exceptionally well. He's been brilliant in the Davis Cup. He's done well in challenges as well. And he's up against Khachanov, who got beat in the third round of the Australian Open by Michelsen, the man we just spoke about here. But yet he's a very, very heavy favourite to win. Well, heavy favourite. People complain, I've said this before, people complain about heavy favourite. I think minus 186 is a heavy favourite. But Khachanov is minus 186 to win this match. Medjedovic is plus 148, spread 2.5. Total between two very big servers is 23.5, with the over plus 102. I'd be inclined to go over rather than the under in this match. This is an interesting one. There has been money for Medjedovic in the build-up to the match. Khachanov has been a bit uneasy in the market. How do you see this one going?
Yeah, I can see why he's uneasy in the market. I think this is a very good chance for Medjedovic. I think this is a great opportunity, actually. You know, he's a player that does enjoy playing against the bigger names. He's not someone that will be worried at all about playing someone of Khachanov's stature. And his stats indoors, Medjedovic, are very, very impressive indeed. But look at his last 10 main level matches indoors. Now, these stats do include the next gen tournament, which is played with slightly different rules, but it's still a high quality of tennis. 90% win rate, Medjedovic, and a service points won and return points won total of 110, which is, you know, very, very, very good indeed. Khachanov is very good as well. Not quite as good, but 80% win rate and a service points won and return points won total of 107. So that shows you that Medjedovic does have the slight edge. Obviously, Khachanov minus 186, you know, not for me. Further investigation into those stats shows you that Medjedovic has held serve 95% of the time, winning 80% of his first serve points and 60% of his second serve points. So excellent recent stats for Medjedovic. If you look at his whole career on indoor hard at main level, he's 13-3 win-loss And 2 of the defeats out of those 3 were in final set tiebreaks. So he was a little unlucky in 2 of those 3. So superb stats on indoor hard for Medjedovic at this level. He's already had the one match here under his belt to get used to these conditions that last year Khachanov complained were too slow. He said they were very, very slow last year. He's a powerful player, Khachanov, but so is Medjedovic. I would argue that Medjedovic perhaps slightly more powerful, I would suggest. So he's got the ability to hit through these conditions for sure. He's beaten Holger Rune recently, a couple of weeks ago, in fact, on indoor hard in Davis Cup. He beat Holger Rune there. He's also beaten Cerundolo and Jiri Lehečka indoors. So he was very close to beating Medvedev on clay as well in Rome, if I remember rightly. So he's a player that does, he's not bothered about taking on higher ranked players. He's quite confident to do that. Khachanov's not had a great start to the season either, as you said. Lost to Nishikori in Hong Kong, lost to Michelsen at the Australian Open. So, yeah, I mean, plus 148. I had it down as plus 132 actually. So I think he might have gone out slightly, Medjedovic, from when I looked. No,
that price is actually that price is. That 148 is now plus 132. There has been a huge amount of money for Medjedovic. He is plus 132, and that plus 132 is that is the biggest price in the land as well. So the plus 132 is going to be under pressure. I looking at the market, I reckon Medjedovic will start around here about plus 125.
Okay, I mean, yeah, if you get plus 132, great, but yeah, plus 125 wouldn't be so bad. Yeah, Medjedovic here for me.
Medjedovic, and I'm guessing that is an official play.
Yeah, I think it's the best value of the day, yeah.
Yeah, Kevin Khachanov, I mean, motivation is going to be questionable in a 250 over in Marseille. Medjedovic is the player of the lower ranking who might want to give it a good go, and he's been in good form in qualification here, and he has the extra match as well in round 1. Khachanov here comes in very cold, and at plus 132 currently with Bet Rivers, that is a price that we like here. But be quick. You won't get that price for too much longer. And also, you've got to remember as well, that match is an early start. So I wouldn't leave it too late today to get on that price, because the scheduling will be out a little bit later on. I'm guessing it'll start around about 5 o'clock Eastern time. Let's move into our 2 final matches, which both come into the tournament in Buenos Aires. The last time we spoke on this show, Sean was unable to give you an outright winner pick because we had no odds available. And hopefully you subscribe to the Instagram account at Because We followed us there, and you would have got his picks there. So if you haven't, make sure you subscribe, or I keep saying subscribe, make sure you follow at Because We Win on Instagram. Anyway, let's move on to Buenos Aires in Argentina, the clay court event. Laslo Djere is up against Alejandro Tabilo. It's the first match you want to discuss. I'm guessing there is no data through on this tournament so far, whether it's quick, whether it's slow, whatever. I'm guessing, but it is hot. The temperature's very hot, bit of rain around as well. If we look at the record here, Laslo Djere has been in great form this year on clay. He's 3-0, and all his wins have come here, and good wins as well. Trungelliti, Coria, Mmoh, and Tabilo has been in shocking form. He hasn't won on the tour since he beat Borges in Paris back in October. Beaten the first round of the Australian Open, beaten the first round of Auckland, and beaten in the first round of Brisbane. There has been money for Laslo Djere. The head-to-head previously, once before, was at Wimbledon in 2022. Tabilo won 3-2. On the rankings, Tabilo is about an 80, 90, I think, higher in the rankings, but he's an underdog here at plus 133. Djere is obviously a established clay court player, and he's a player who's in a bit of form here. Minus 167. Spread 2.5, total 22.5.
Yeah, he's in great form, Djere, but should he be minus 167? This looks to me like it's just being priced on very, very recent form, i.e. the past few days, and the fact that Tabilo's not been in great form recently. There's no argument Djere's played really, really well so far in Buenos Aires. He's not even been broken yet so far, which is in 3 matches on clay, which is quite something. He won 96% on his first serve against Alexandra Mmoh on an extremely hot day. It was like 37 degrees yesterday, brutal conditions yesterday in Buenos Aires. So he'll be happy to have got that out of the way quickly. 90% first serve points won overall in 3 matches against Mmoh, Coria and Trungelliti. Clearly he's back to fitness now after a very rough 2024 due to injury, and he's facing an opponent who has been struggling a little bit in recent times with a back problem. Tabilo did say actually that he'd gone back to Chile after the Australian Open to try and sort out a back issue that he's had. He's not won a match since October, and he's lost 15 of his last 19 matches. So that's why this is priced as it is. Now it's his first clay match, obviously, of the year against an informed opponent in Djere. So I get it. I understand why it's been priced like this, but it's very much on extremely recent form. Djere is not exactly Mr. Consistent, and it was 37 degrees on Monday. So, you wonder what that's taken out of him and whether Tabilo will be the fresher man. I would suspect he probably will be. Tabilo outlasted Djere on the grass when they played at Wimbledon. He was 2 sets up, Tabilo. Djere fought back to level it at 2-2, and then Tabilo edged it in the final set there. If you look at the stats, you wouldn't, if you forget about recent form, forget about the last few days for a minute. If you look at the last 12 months on clay at main level, it's much more favourable for Tabilo. Service points won and return points won, total of 104. He played really well on the clay last year, Tabilo. Djere's down at 100. Obviously, Djere had a bad year last year with injuries. So that's probably not his 100% true form. But even so, this match is a classic match that bookmakers put up based on very, very recent form. If Djere carries on playing the way that he has done, then maybe you could argue he should be minus 167. But for me, if Tabilo's fit, he's obviously not been fit recently. If this Chilean physio has sorted him out, then I think there might be a hint of value at plus 133 based on clay form from last year. If Tabilo's fit, that's a good price.
It does seem a big price for a player that's, is so much higher in the ranking, so much better over the last few years. But obviously, it's a sort of a kind of thing where we get sort of momentum and kind of regency bias that someone's doing really, really well and forget what they've done previously. So Tabilo here at plus 133. If you said to me a year ago, Tabilo at plus 133, a clay against Laslo Djere, I'd be all over it. But he isn't playing well, but this could be an opportunity for him in conditions that will suit him in his home continent that he might do well in. Finally, Alexander Zverev, minus 1667 up against Dusan Lajovic at plus 850. The total here is very, very, very low at 19.5 games. I find that very, very low. If you look at this, Lajovic is a proven performer on clay court. He's come through his first round match in great style against Calvert, winning 2 sets to love. Zverev hasn't played since the Australian Open final, where he got beat by Jannik Sinner in 3 straight sets. They've met 4 times previously. They've played in the French Open twice, where Zverev won 3 sets to 2 in both matches. They met in the Australian Open in 2021, where Zverev won again, but again in 3 close matches. And they met in Paris in 2021, where Zverev won again in a very, very close match. It was 6-3, 7-6. My first look at this match here straight away is, I think the games here are cheap. Really cheap at 19.5, over 19.5 at plus 110. I would expect Alexander Zverev to edge it, but we know he's had problems with his luggage, not coming here on time. We know he wants to try something different. And he's up against a decent clay court performer, and it's going to be very hard for him to go from the Australian Open final to here. There's going to be a lot of ways that I think that you'll want to get with Lajovic, and I'm quite intrigued to find out where you think the best ways are.
I'm in agreement with you here. I think that the totals is very low at 19.5 games in the circumstances. I don't think this will be the easiest match for Zverev, considering it's his first match on clay of the year, not played, as you said, since the Australian Open. I was toying with the idea of backing Lajovic in the first round against Calvert, but what put me off was the 37 degrees. I thought at his age, 34 Lajovic, I thought that he might struggle, but in the end he came through, which is very impressive given his age against a durable opponent in Calvert. He's come through there, Lajovic. And as you said, Lajovic has caused plenty of problems for Zverev in the past, especially on clay. Obviously, Lajovic's best surface, former Masters 1000 finalist, of course, in Monte Carlo. The head-to-head on clay it does favour Zverev, 103.5 to 96.5, but it's not massively overwhelming. It shouldn't mean that Zverev is minus 1667. I know it was a few years ago, but Lajovic won more second serve points in those matches, than a higher percentage anyway than Zverev did. 45% for Lajovic, 40% for Zverev on clay against Lajovic. We know Lajovic plays really well in Buenos Aires. He always talks about how he enjoys these conditions, the city, the food, all the rest of it. He loves it here. He's won 16 of his 25 matches in Buenos Aires. Lajovic beat Artur Fils and Tabilo here last year to make the quarterfinals. And he's actually lost to the champion of Buenos Aires the last 2 years. Last year, he lost to Diaz Acosta in the quarters. Diaz Acosta went on to win the tournament. The year before, he lost to Alcaraz in the quarters, and Alcaraz went on to win the tournament. So it's a tournament and conditions that have suited Lajovic over the years. Zverev very much unproven in these conditions. He did play Davis Cup in Brazil a couple of years ago, but that's about as close as he's come to these conditions. He's never played the Golden Swing. As you said, Lajovic has come through one match already in brutal conditions, so he's shown that he's still fit enough at 34. So over 19.5 games would be my wager here. I think this will be a match that Zverev, if he's going to win it, he's going to have to do it the hard way, in these circumstances.
I absolutely love that bet. I think that's the best bet of the day, over 19.5 games here. I really do. I mean, Zverev, he's got. I think he'll want to take a little bit of time to get used to the court, get used to the conditions. I can see a 6-4, 7-5 first set, and then probably win 6-3, 6-4 in the second set or something like that. But 19.5 games is very cheap. If everybody thinks that Alexander Zverev's going to come out here and blow him away really quickly, I think you've got this wrong here. Especially with the handicap he's had as well, with obviously his luggage not arriving as well, which we never factored into the price as well. It's a very cheap. Very, very. I'm waiting for the spread. I think 19.5 would probably be about a 5.5 star, or maybe even could be a 6.5 star for Lajovic. And that it just plays a lot of tie breaks. Zverev. Just very, very short prices there. Okay, that has been it. I know you've got to head off, Sean. The match that you want to head off to watch, the Nishioka match, is just about to start. Nishioka up against Vukic. You're 10 minutes away. They haven't started yet, so hopefully you avoid the queue. And let us know you got into court on time. Let us know on the Instagram account wherever you have done. Oh, I thought you had a queue you had to queue up to get onto that court. I thought it was like first come, first serve. So you'll be okay.
Oh, well, sorry. I thought you meant to get in the tournament. Yeah, there might be, but it's 11 a.m, so I think I should be all right.
You'll be fine. You'll be there. Let us know how you get on the Instagram account, and remember to follow Instagram account. Remember, hit that subscribe button. Let us know what you're doing. Lots of content coming this way. Champions League action as well. Tomorrow I'll be on Betting Weekly live with Steve Wiss from 11 o'clock Eastern, 4 o'clock UK. As well as that, the Premier League is back as well, and the European soccer as well. Sean is still there. Tomorrow we'll have a new edition of Betting Weekly Game Bet Match. When are you flying back, Sean?
Not till Friday. So, yeah, a few days left here, yeah.
Yep. Loads more content coming. If we haven't got the shows on here, Instagram is the place to go. Sean will give you some picks and insights that he finds from there. That's it for today. Before we go, Sean, just give us a recap of just the bets. I forgot to ask you that. Give us a recap of the bets.
Yeah, just the one pick today for me. That's the Medjedovic pick. Medjedovic to beat Khachanov in Marseille. I think it was plus 132, 2.32.
Yeah, plus 132. I don't think that price will hang around. So head across to the BetRivers website. That match starts in the early hours of tomorrow morning. I really like the 19.5 as well. So if you want to follow me and just have that as well. But I do like Medjedovic as well. That's it for today. We will be back again tomorrow for the final Betting Weekly Game Bet match of the week. Take care. Good luck with your travels. And Sean, get a move on. Go and get down to that court. Go and watch Nishioka. Get in the queue. Have a good day. Take care. Goodbye. See you tomorrow.